Well, hey, B. Real Housewives of Potomac reunion that came on, reunion part 2. So y'all already know we got to talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. All right, y'all. Listen, I'm gonna try to be real calm as I do this review. Okay, it was yet another good episode of Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, part 2. First things first, I gotta give a shout out to Candiace for holding her own down as she should have. All right, so I definitely have to give that to her, and we're definitely gonna get into some things, right? So we're going to start off with Mia and Candiace because that's where we ended on the last episode. Mia says her mom wanted to tell her story because she wanted to inspire many people. Again, we ask, who are these people that you speak of, Mia? Who is these people that you speak of? Your mother was not interviewed for this show. You were. Let's be very clear about that, okay? You wanted to share your mother's story. See, this is why I cannot do Mia. I don't know if I'll be able to do her in the future. I'm kind of hoping so because, like I said, I liked Mia in the beginning. It started to fade out for me. I want to like Mia, but it never makes sense. My issue with Mia is Mia pawns things off on other people, and I don't like that. Either you're too low class for her, or she didn't do something, somebody else did it. Let's keep going, okay? So Mia tells Candiace that she needs to shut the F up and she better watch her back. Ooh, not watch her back? Okay. Excuse us, right? So then Karen wants to know if Candiace is out here talking to strangers, right? The way that she talks to them. And I'm like, well, first of all, strangers probably aren't the ones effing with her like y'all are. That's number one, out in the streets publicly. Number two, we know that a lot of people like to hop on Twitter and hide behind these profiles that they have and say whatever it is that they want. So then she's granted to say what she wants to say back to you when you at her, right? So there's that on that, okay? Karen goes on to say that Candiace told her that she wanted her to burn and go to hell, go to eternal hell. Girl, I'm hollering when she said that. You told me that you wanted me to burn and go to eternal hell. You're right, because you tried to get her fired, right, by going to HR. So you went to HR, whatever you did, tried to get her fired. So she fired your ass up and told you that you should go to hell and burn, okay? Period. So I had nothing wrong with what she said there, right? Karen wants her to stop because she and Giselle don't cut to the bone. And then says that she likes to do things that's humorous. Okay, I disagree with Karen, okay? I said just because it's humorous doesn't mean that it isn't mean, right? It doesn't mean that you didn't hurt anybody just because you tried to add a little humor to it by saying this lady went to Sing Sing. Right? You try to add a little humor to that as if that wasn't going to hurt right there. So miss me with the BS, okay? I feel like your mama had a humor in it as well, but for some reason y'all have an issue more so when Candiace does things than when y'all do it, and I love that she called y'all out about that, right? So what else ended up happening? I think I already mentioned that. Like, y'all do the same mess and the same stuff that Candiace does, but for some reason she gets the worst response. Okay, girl. Moving on. Giselle says that Candiace responds to 100% and she doesn't respond to everything, meaning Giselle doesn't respond to everything. She says, Candiace, girl, you respond to like 100% of the stuff. I don't respond to everything. And I'm like, number one, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that you always do that, Giselle. I do feel like you do respond to 100% of the things, but here's the thing. At times you don't respond to things because for you, dear, you ain't got no comeback. A lot of times when people call you out and you just stuck, you caught at this moment. So it's nothing for you to really say to respond, right? You like to keep up a whole lot of BS, but then you don't want to have to explain yourself or offer any explanation or give anything. You just like to, I have no words for that. No, that's not what happened. And then you try to change the story and rearrange stuff, right? So girl, go ahead on, girl, bye, right? Yeah, like when it came down to Karen calling your box a fiery hot box and you're a whore from Hampton. What did you do? You was like, you opened your mouth like, where is she getting this? Yeah, because you couldn't say anything. You couldn't say anything. You had no comeback when Karen said that. That's why you couldn't respond 100% to what was being said to you, girl. Let's go ahead and move on. You're not quick with it. That's why. All right. So then Candiace says, everyone up here body shames. I was watching the TV screen like this. Let's talk about it, okay? They called out Ashley, Robyn, and Gizelle for their body shaming, okay? Candiace says she tossed food at Mia because she felt like when someone is coming at her, she will respond, okay? These are just my notes. They may be out of order, guys, but these are my notes. We're going to get through it, okay? So then Andy asked Wendy, what are her thoughts, right? What you're good friends with Miss Candice, girl. I need to know, what are your thoughts? How are you feeling about the antics of your friend? And Wendy says that everyone does it. Everybody does the same thing that Candice does. Candice just does it better than them. She sticks the landing. I was here for it. I said, let me tell you something, Wendy. You better have your friend back. As much as Robyn will climb onto Giselle's back and hold on to her like this, girl, you better have Miss Candice's back. Here for it, right? What else ended up happening? Candice asked, well, should I not stick my landing to spare the feelings of you ladies because you're not as quick as I am? Okay, you're not as on your toes as I am. Is that what you exactly want me to do, Giselle? Is that, I'm trying to get an understanding, right? So Karen says that, no, you don't have to do anything because at some point people are going to just tune you out, right? So I felt like when Karen said that, she was kind of trying to say that at some point people probably not going to want to, film or whatever, film with you. And I'm just like, Candice, girl, they don't have to film with you because it's still individuals that's still willing to film with you. So it's like, it's whatever. And then trying to say that everybody doesn't want to be, subjected to that type of verbal abuse or whatever it was Karen said. And I'm just sitting up here like, they're not paying the rent. Like, excuse me? Like, Giselle was just sitting up here and she was being, put on Front Street about the things that you had to say about her. She was subject to the BS that was coming out of your mouth. Are you serious? Girl, you don't make no sense. But okay, so then Candice says, if you want to, then that's fine. I say, yes, Candice. I say, if they want to, then that's fine. That's fine. Because they're gonna be trying to film with you anyway, because here's the thing, y'all gonna have to earn and work for y'all check. Y'all already got Giselle and Karen to me in fences, so y'all are gonna need to do something else. Y'all gonna have to keep the mess up in some other fashion, right? So is it gonna be Wendy and Giselle, right? Y'all gonna be trying to attach yourselves to what Candice got going on, so y'all can, create the drama. So girl, ain't nobody, girl, shut up. So Karen says, but we don't do that, right? She says, what did she say? Karen says that she says, but we don't want that, right? So then Karen says, right, let me get real comfortable up in here, girl. So Karen tells her, like, listen, if you keep doing that, then at some point people aren't going to listen to you. We're just going to tune you out. And then Candice said, okay, girl, well, if that's what y'all want to do, then girl, that's fine. And then Karen said, well, girl, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we want that. Well, then why would you say it? If that's not what you would want, then why would you say it? Why would you even put that out in the atmosphere and put that out there for that to be on people's minds for them to consider? Why would you say that? Just like when Andy said later on in the show, people bring things to the show to like bring it to the forefront or make a thing out of it in so many words, right? So why would you even say that? Oh, okay then. So then Giselle jumps in and starts talking about how she has been on the show for 6 seasons and there hasn't been an altercation. Baby, when Candice when she clocked her, I said, yes, girl, come on. Candice says, not with you per se, but you did walk your friend into your other friend's restaurant, where an altercation was getting started. And Giselle, what did she do? This is what I'm saying. She don't be having no comment. She was like, and I screenshotted it, and I'm mad that I did not put the photo up here because I want y'all to know the face that Giselle makes every time she about to lie. It's always it's something about the little lips, like she thinking. It's always like that's when Giselle make that face, know a lie gonna come behind it. All right, it's so crazy, girl, because I know I used to love me some Giselle, but girl, this season, she done turned me all the way. And when I say all the way off, I mean all the way off. But anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, so Giselle tries to act like it had nothing, but that had nothing to do with me. That had nothing to do with me. Robyn says, well, when I saw Ashley, I just saw red. Well, no, it's not because she's like a red bone, but when I saw her, like I saw red because I was angry. Like that's what it really was giving. Anyway, but it had nothing to do with Giselle. It did. Shut up. Giselle accompanied you into this lady's restaurant so you could put your finger all up in her face. Okay, that's that. So she tried to sit up here. She was just going to sit up here and lie and say that there were not any altercations or things, but she was right there to witness them. She was right there to be a part of them. I'm sure if I go back and watch the episode, Giselle probably egged Robyn on to do that, right? Just like she was privy and was right there when Monique put the thing up to Robyn's face. But I love that moment because y'all know how I feel about Miss Girl. I was here for it. I love when Robyn, I ain't gonna lie, that's one of the reasons why I really started to like Robyn on the show, because the people that I was not fond of, i.e. Mo and Ashley, she would definitely go there with them and test them, and I loved it. Okay, loved every bit of it. Now, girl, I don't know what she got going on, but anyway, all right. Yeah, Robyn said when she saw Ashley, she saw red. She tried to say it ain't had nothing to do with Giselle, but girl, it did. She was there. She was about to lie out her mouth and she just got checked. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay. I felt like Candiace was on y'all head tops. Candiace was playing on y'all head tops this episode, baby. Okay. She was aware. She says that she's aware of herself, but y'all are not aware of yourselves. That's the problem. I'm very aware of me. You are not aware of you and the SHI that you spew out here on the show as well. But everybody wants to come at me. I was here for it. You all want to hold me to a standard that's different than you all have held each other to. I was like, yes, call them out accordingly. Call them out accordingly. I don't know if it's because all of them pretty much knew each other prior to the show or something. Mind you, everybody was connected by way of Charisse. She brought everybody in. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. And then now Candiace came in and the dynamic was different. Like, I don't understand that. But y'all definitely don't. And you know what? I would use that as an example if you want to take colorism out of it, right? Is it because it's still favoritism because y'all know each other and have known each other for such a long time, a little bit prior? Or y'all started the show together? Because I believe Charisse said that Robyn and Giselle met each other when they were forming the show. And they've been good Judies ever since. So is that what it is, girl? I don't know. But let's move on. Giselle says that she's done. This is when Giselle says, I'm done. I'm done. I'm good. I'm good. I'm done. I'm done. The reason why I feel like Giselle said that she was done in that moment was because, Giselle, you can't defend the actions. You can't defend shit. When Candiace is coming at you and she's calling it out, like y'all hold her to a different standard, you're done now because you have no comeback. You truly have no comeback. You have nothing. You have no leg to stand on with that. That's why you want to be done. And that's fine because y'all bogus as fuck. Period. Okay. So then Candiace take on, no, I said, Candiace, take the same approach that Giselle said. Be done. Be done. Like, girl, I'm good. I'm done. Take the same approach. Right. So then Robyn has the audacity to ask Candiace if she feels she takes things a step or two further. Girl, bye. Because I feel like, Candiace, you should have asked her, look in the mirror and ask yourself that question, and then you can come back and ask me that question. How you gonna be a person that has taken things far and then want to sit up there and ask me if I take them too far? Girl, go ask yourself that question. Go ask yourself that question, and then you can come and have a conversation with me. Go ask yourself that question, and then you can come and have a conversation with me. So there's that on that, okay? Candiace talked about how she's better with her words, right? Mia is being called out about being a disaster on Twitter. Finally, okay, girl, she is a disaster on Twitter. Mia says, I own it. No, you don't own it. You lie. And people keep asking, I don't understand. What did she lie about? No, you guys keep thinking she lied about this and she lied about that. What did she lie about? She lying right now, telling folks that, yeah, I'll own that. But then at the same time, you're not owning it because you're saying that it was a social media manager that was putting things on the page when it really was you. And shout out to Osefo for coming to the stage and calling your out. And what's funny to me is I'm wondering why y'all ain't introduced Osefo. Why y'all ain't say we have the lovely Osefo joining us? What was that about? Did I miss something? Because I don't even remember them announcing that she was on the stage. I don't know, but she came and did what she needed to do in the time frame that she was given. Here for it, okay? So Wendy brings up Osefo, right? Wendy says, okay, so it was your social media manager. So, but how would your social media manager know so many things about a scholar and her mom and what's going on in her house? How would they know that? And Mia sat up there and lied and tried to say, well, you know, of course it has to sound like me. You know, if they're gonna write, it has to sound like me. You did with your lying ass. You did, and you know you did. You did. You did. Girl, so they're trying to put it off on the social media manager. Will the real social media manager please stand up so you can let us know that it was not you while this lady out here lying on you, girl? Anyway, so a scholar, she brings out her printouts, girl, of the tweets and things that Mia said. Mia was like, can I see that? She said, oh, girl, please, gladly, read it. Okay, so she up there just flipping and looking. I'm like, yeah, girl, get a real good look. Couldn't even say that. Couldn't open her mouth. Didn't know what to say. Got caught red-handed. What else is going on? What else is happening, Miss Mia? Miss Mia, what else is happening? You say, what? Your mama? Your mama. Come get her. Your mama finna come get you, baby. Yeah, your mama finna come. Because see, you out here lying too much. And obviously, you need some discipline too. Let's call your mama. Come here. Yeah, your daughter over here, she's still full of lies. Yeah, you can come get her. Y'all come around this side. Pick up on her. Yeah, your mama. She outside waiting on you, dear. Yeah, her and the kids. Yeah, G over there in the back. You can go. Thank you. Girl, can't with your lies sitting up there busted. Girl, I couldn't take it. It was hilarious though. She didn't know what to say. So then a scholar was asked about being, calling Mia a classist or her being classist or something like that. And then a scholar says the reason that comment came up was because she feels like Mia sits like high on this pedestal or whatever. And every time it's always a conversation about money, which makes so much sense, as I've already broken this down to you guys in the previous Potomac reunion review that I did about the low budget comment, because Mia looks at everybody as though they are less than. Okay, and I feel like when I think about it too, your mama's low budget. Watch your mouth, right? Although it came off, jokey or whatever, however it came off, it is definitely, if not anything, a reminder of where you came from. Why you want to sit up there and talk about something being low budget? Okay, you want to talk about something being low budget, but you're a product of this. So I don't care what you acquire over here, trying to act like you better, girl. It's still low budget over here, man. Understand that. Still low budget over there. Anyway, so what was interesting to me that I didn't really like, Andy was out here supporting Mia and giving her an excuse for her disastrous behavior on Twitter because she's a fucking newbie. But had that been Candiace, it wasn't going to be any of that. Had that probably been anybody else, it was, so why are you giving this woman excuses? Well, no, I understand it. I get it. No. It's okay, Mia. Because, a lot of the ladies, when they come into this space, and it's a new atmosphere for them, they could get a little carried away on social media. So no, I get it. You don't need to explain anything further, right? You don't have to do. I know I called you a disaster on Twitter, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on it because we prefer to do that for individuals like Candiace. That's going to really bring us more ratings. But for you, dear, just know that we get it, we understand, we sympathize. I'm here with you because you're a newbie. We don't give a what Mia is. We don't, Andy. We don't. Okay, we don't give not one piece of a. Okay. No, we don't. No, right? So Mia says she says she won't give the ladies any time of day. I said, and a lie detector test determined. That's another lie, dear. That's another lie. You won't give the ladies any time of day, but as soon as the reunion was over with, you were still over here chopping at your gums. So once y'all filmed the reunion and the show, now mind you, this was before the reunion played. They've already recorded it. And we're continuing to see the show play out. Girl, you still was out here saying slick stuff. So you won't give the ladies any time of day? You sure? Okay. Still out here talking SHINT. Okay, and still out here trying to get the LGBT community all riled up to go up against, Miss Candiace based on some old tweets that she's already responded to. Miss Mia, girl, we're going to say bye. Your mama is on her way to get you. Yeah, come get a girl. All right. So anyway, Andy wanted to move on from Candiace and the Mia situation because he felt like, girl, we're not gonna get nowhere here, right? So I just felt the way because anyway, just though he moved on. They take a break, right? And Giselle wants Candiace to accept ownership for some things, but I felt like she's already done that. So what else do you want her to accept ownership for when she's already talked to Mia and already told Mia that you know, she apologized to her when she sat back there wherever they sat at? She's already talked to Mia about that. So what other ownership do you want her to take when she's already acknowledged and accepted the issue at hand when the season played out? What is that about? Y'all want her to give all these apologies, but y'all not demanding it from everybody else. You got me up. And I'm so glad that Candiace was not up there about to be apologetic about nothing. Girl, I've already said what I said, and if she get wrong, then I'm gonna say it again. Period. So yeah, Wendy and Candiace, they go and sit down. You know, Wendy goes in there to check on Candiace to see how she's doing. And Wendy lets her know that she has her back. And Candiace acknowledges the fact that she can be a BIT and that her responses can be harsh. But if you leave her alone, then you don't have to worry about that, right? So there's that. Next thing you know, we see where Giselle and Karen, they come back out. Everybody comes back out. They're sitting down. They're enjoying themselves with this, hold on one second, with this reunion. So the conversation is time for the Giselle and Karen segment or whatever. Karen says that when it came down to the things that she said about Giselle, like having a fiery hot box or something like that, talking about how she got it from the blog saying that she had an STD or whatever. Robyn says, yeah, that's the same blog that talked mess about Eddie. But Giselle, you know, she just brushed it off because, you know, it wasn't that serious for her. Like, she just brushed it off, and she didn't care. So Wendy told her that, yeah, and you're the same person that said earlier today that we should not be policing how women should be responding. I said, ooh, come on, Wendy, for playing on Robyn's head top. Girl, she is on your head top, and I was here for it, okay? I'm glad that she said that because this whole time I felt like y'all was doing the same thing to Miss Candiace. First of all, Giselle can respond and deal with things how she wants to deal with it. But when it comes to Candiace, she can't respond and deal with things how she wants to deal with it. Okay. So Karen, you're so full of SHI and a piece of a T, or really all of a T, girl. You are. You are. She says that she didn't think Giselle wished Ray for dead after watching the season. Girl, you didn't think that she wished the man for dead years ago when you saw the season. You just needed something to go at Giselle about. Now Karen tells Giselle that her daughter was upset and then says that her daughter couldn't even stand Giselle. And I'm like, now why would you say that? Now, I don't know what's true or what's lies. Her daughter probably did not like Giselle, but I feel like that was a bit messy. That's a little, I just felt like that was messy. You say that you like to keep kids' secrets or you're true to kids or whatever, but then you just added the fact that your daughter didn't like Giselle. Something didn't add up for me. What else? I felt like her daughter probably did not like the fact that Giselle did the whole tax situation, but I don't think her daughter thought that she was wishing her dad for dead. You know, like, so I don't, Karen is a liar. Giselle was asked about the Eddie rumors, right? Giselle says that she didn't spread rumors about Eddie. Wendy tells her that you want an apology from Karen about the things that she said about you and their dad because of your kids. You felt like your kids were hurt. But then you'll turn around and not want to give me an apology about things that you know weren't true versus Karen speaking facts about your situation. You want an apology. You don't want to give me an apology off of things you know were not true. And, you know, based on my kids and stuff. And I got kids, and you ain't trying to give me an apology. You ain't trying to have that same sympathy or understanding when it comes to me. Yeah, that's whack. So Wendy was, she was on Giselle's head, and I appreciated that as well. Giselle goes on to mention how Wendy looked at her daughter, and this is where she changes the subject, right? So people want to talk about accountability. Oh, Candice, you're accountability. What about Giselle sitting up here not accepting accountability and just overlooked the fact of what Wendy just said and changed it and made it about her child? Talking about some damn, like, you look at my child in disguise. when you came to the house, and my daughter was standing over there, I saw you, and you just looked at her with like just utter disgust, right? I can't take it. Wendy says that she didn't, but if that's how you feel, okay, then I apologize to your child. I apologize to Grace. And she goes on to tell her, just make sure that you're ready to extend that same apology to Carter and Cruz when it's your turn. Okay? Okay. No, I don't want to hear anything else, girl. No. No, ma'am. I only want to hear about you apologizing when necessary, period. Okay? She also goes on to say, no, Karen, I'm saying this. Karen is a liar. Saying that again, okay? And she made up Sing Sing because she said that she wanted to lift the moment. Girl, you do not make up no damn Sing Sing because, excuse me, y'all. You do not make up no damn Sing Sing because you want to lift the moment. You saying this lady was in Sing Sing, dear, that's not moment. That's not lifting the moment at all. What the fuck? Girl, I say... What? You trying to say this lady is loco, but then you trying to say that you tried to lift the moment. I was so glad that Robyn ended up calling her out though. And letting her know some things. But before we get to that, let me go ahead and finish reading. Giselle speaks on how she and Karen's argument, and she speaks on her and Karen's argument and how neither of them wanted to fight each other, right? So then Candiace, so I feel like y'all want Candiace to apologize for her harsh words, but y'all won't even acknowledge that y'all too take it too far. See, this is the thing for me. Y'all be trying to move the meter. And I don't like that. Y'all try to move the meter. 1 minute is Candiace, it's your words. No, it's your words. Be careful of your words. And then now when you're using this conversation, you saw me and Karen talking, then, we didn't want to get, we weren't even about to fight. So now it's going from it's your words, it's your mouth, it's your mouth. And then now it's going to it's your actions, girl. Which one is it going to be? Which one is it? Y'all keep moving the meter. And whether you guys were getting to a place where it could have been physical or whatever, it still happened. That's what I'm saying. Like you're just glazing over that. You're just overlooking it like it didn't exist. It still happened. Y'all still got mouths, girl. Y'all still reckless as, okay? No, ma'am. Now, just because you didn't choose to respond to just because you didn't choose to Giselle, just because you didn't choose to respond to Karen, how you wanted to respond to her, doesn't mean somebody else would not have. Somebody, if she would have said that to Candiace would have drugged her about Ray and his broken DICK. Okay? She would have drugged her about anything else that she probably could find and probably would have told her to go to hell. Just like she did, and y'all would have acted like, oh, that's such a big thing. And see, that's crazy. Girl. Honey, that's crazy to me because I feel like if Candiace would have said that to Miss Girl where everybody could hear her, and she would have told Karen like, you can die, not die, but you can go to hell, burn in hell eternally or whatever, right? They would have made a big issue out of that. They would have made a big issue out of that. But when Giselle doesn't even say that she wishes Rayford dead, nobody really made a huge thing about that. Nobody even went to Karen and was like, oh my God, Karen, I can't believe you say that. You have to accept accountability. You have to understand that that is not what Giselle meant. Nobody did that. But anyway, girl, y'all follow me enough. What else happened? Let's see. Karen and Mia, as I've already said, are some liars, period. I see why they're good friends, okay? Robyn called Karen out about the things that Karen said to Giselle, which editing conveniently left out, right? So Robyn called her out about calling Giselle a drug addict. And what I thought was, and an alcoholic. That was the other thing. And I just thought it was interesting how they downplayed it. Karen tried to downplay it and kind of tried to skirt over it and move along. First, she tried to say that she never said that, right? And then Robyn was like, nah, baby, you said that. She tried to act like it didn't happen and just like, oh, well, Giselle, da. And I was like, see, that's the problem. Y'all don't be taking on y'all full accountability. Let me see what I wrote here.
Yes, I said y'all be wanting Candiace to take accountability so bad when she's already acknowledges when she's wrong and has done that during the season. Karen should be the one taking accountability for her own actions because of what she said to Giselle at the table, and she never apologized for it. Okay. Andy asked Giselle and Karen to say something positive about each other, which I guess they did. Giselle appreciates how Karen has never disrespected her kids and treated them differently. And then she ended up getting a bit misty-eyed. I said, girl, bye. Girl, go ahead. Go ahead on. Go on now. Go on. Go on somewhere with it. Okay. And Karen said, don't make me cry. I was like, girl, get the fuck. Y'all fake. Y'all been friends for real this whole time. Y'all just create these antics for the show. Even Karen sat up there and said, oh, well, you know, we gonna always bicker because that's how me and Giselle are. That's what we do. Basically, they gonna continue to do it for the fun of the show. That's just what that is, okay? Ashley, we speak on Ashley. Ashley and Michael wanting to start a new business venture, right? Okay. This is interesting. Because Andy asked Ashley, like, what made Michael want to go into the movie theater situation, right? And let me tell y'all what I said. Now, y'all see how he asked Candiace, why would Chris be her manager, or why would he be her manager if his expertise is in restaurants and cooking? Then why would that same question not apply to Michael? Why would Michael want to go into movies and production and film when his expertise is in restaurants, cooking himself, okay, as well as real estate? Why would he? Y'all see how the questions be so different? And they know what they be doing when it comes off the way that it comes off. Ashley still out here lying about how Michael wants to be with her or how Michael wants her, you know. So I'm not hearing none of that when she talks about her sex life is doing great and all this. I'm getting back to myself. Everything is good. Well, we're not there yet, but we're almost there. I can't remember the questions that Giselle asked her. And I was like, girl, you just a lie. Girl, Michael don't want you like that, girl. It's okay. It's okay. You're going to keep up that facade, though, girl. I guess you waiting on him to pass. But anyway, so Candiace is asked why she relishes about Ashley's postpartum body. And Ashley interrupts her saying, can you just address what he asks? And I'm like, well, girl, she can if you be quiet. She couldn't even get out the first word before you opened your mouth, Ashley. And this is why we feel like you be looking for a moment. Right? Just give her a second. She about to tell you. So Candiace says, be quiet. I was quiet while you were talking. Hush it up. Here for it. Here go Giselle. Here goes Giselle. She hops in the conversation immediately after Ashley says, be quiet. After Candiace said, be quiet, let me talk. I'm talking like, let me talk. So she hops into the conversation. And what I noticed is that every person that Candiace has an issue with on the stage, Giselle is speaking up for that person. I don't like that. So Candiace, I need you to understand this, right? Giselle, you got an issue with me, she opening her mouth. We got an issue over here with Ashley, she opening her mouth. If it's something else, she opening her mouth. This lady don't like you, girl. Knock, who's there? You. Open this fucking door because we're talking to you, Candiace. Giselle does not like you like that. Period. So I don't know what kind of, like, this lady don't like you like that. I do not care. I don't know what kind of friendship you think y'all got. I understand if you feel like you need to be aligned to her based on how the show is or whatever like that, girl, but no, ma'am. Everybody feel like they needed to be aligned to Nene at one point, girl. And then people start finding their own voice and doing their own thing. So you don't feel like you need to be aligned with nobody. But this lady does not like you. And I need you to see that. Right? So you know how to operate next season. You need to take some of these people with a grain of salt. Giselle says that she was offended by the wide body comments. But I'm saying, ain't nobody talking to you. And how are you offended about what was said to Ashley when nobody was even saying anything to you? And here's the other thing for me. How are you offended about wide body comments to Ashley, but you're not offended about Karen calling you wide body? I'm sorry, not wide body, but a hot, fiery box. Okay? You're a whore from Hampton University. How are you not offended by things that were actually said about you, but you offended by something that was said about somebody else? How is that working? How are you not offended by Miss Karen calling you an alcoholic and saying that you went to Sing Sing? Like, how you not offended by those things that were said about you, but you offended about something that happened and that was said all the way down here to the end of the couch by you? Somebody lying. I don't agree with that, girl. Somebody lying. Giselle says that she was offended by the wide body comments because Ashley just had a baby. But you didn't care about the fact that Ashley had a baby when she drove her mother all the way up there to Williamsburg to start mess on your behalf. But you weren't offended then, but you're offended by that. Oh, okay then. Girl, she up here lying, Candiace. This ain't your friend. Ashley was asked, she considers Candiace's statement, if she considers Candiace's statement to be body shaming, but does she consider Michael's statement of what he said about her to be body shaming? Girl, Ashley starts her statement off by saying that she wants Candiace Bob to stop weaving. And I said, girl, I'm here with you when you say that, girl, on this time. Because, girl, I hated that mother wig. Candiace, I don't know who did your hair. Fired. Somebody's getting fired like that. Never again. Okay. It was from the lace to the bump at the bottom, the curl at the bottom. No, man, we can't do that again. No, ma'am, I take that serious. We can't do that again. Okay. All right. So there's that. We got that cleared up, right? So then Ashley goes on to excuse Michael. And that's the thing, Ashley. What did you just tell Candiace earlier, though, before you talked about excusing Michael? You were like, answer the question at hand. And that's what I wanted her to do. Hurry up. Don't even mention Candiace and her bob weaving because you've been back there doing all kind of facials and everything, girl. Focus on the question at hand. Ain't that's what you told Candiace? So now it's your turn. Let's get into it. Okay. Focus on that, dear. So what else ended up happening, girl? Let's keep going. So Candiace is asked about her being jealous of Ashley being a mom before her. I loved it. Candiace was like, oh my God. I'm so jealous of her being a mom before me. Yeah. Girl, ain't nobody cares. Okay. So I was laughing. That was a good moment. Candiace brings up Ashley talking about her hair being dry, right? So I felt like that was a great one since we're talking about being offended and body shaming. You always talking about her hair being dry. So Candiace let her know that she has a privilege. Ashley wanted to address the colorism thing. She wanted to go ahead and shut it down immediately. And she says that she denied that it exists, right? What else did I want to say? Yes, I wanted to say that I too have been a person that has denied that colorism exists on this show. I've said that in previous videos. However, I have said in the past few videos that I see why people may feel that way. Okay, so I definitely understand that. Ashley says that Candiace always takes their convos to be about color. Number one, that's not true. Candiace don't even really talk to you like that for the conversations to be about color. Number one. Number two, this entire season, Candiace was okay with doing events and functions without your ass. So stop sitting up there saying that every time she talks about something, it's about color. No, you watching these reviews and these shows as well. That's what that is. And you hearing that people talking about colorism and stuff. So that's the reason why you wanted to dispel that myth right now. But I feel like still, y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Ashley is so whitewashed that she wouldn't even understand that part, like where Candiace is coming from with the colorism. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts about that overall. That's what I think. I think she's too whitewashed to understand. So for her to say that she doesn't see it or she doesn't believe it or feel it or whatever like that, I feel like, I guess that would make sense for her. I guess so. So there's that. Wendy asked a very good question saying, how can you, girl, this question right here, I said, oh, Wendy. Girl, are we on MSNBC right now, girl? Is we on CNN? Because baby girl said, how can you say and know that colorism exists within society, but then turn around and say that it's not within this group? Girl, I said, ooh. Girl, let me sit on back. I was like, girl, answer that, girl. I ain't got nothing to say, girl. I'm here listening. I'm listening to what's being said. So then Ashley says that she doesn't see where colorism comes to play in the group. She thinks it's outsiders that are projecting it on to the group. This is what Miss Ashley said. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about that below. Candiace tells her to take that same statement and apply it to her, meaning Candiace. Everything you say that I do that is offensive comes from an audience that are oppressed and puts that off on Miss Candiace, okay? So the same way Ashley's trying to feel like, oh, colorism doesn't exist. I feel like the outsiders are trying to project how they feel onto us. Well, that's the same thing with Candiace. Candiace feels like the things that she say don't be that serious. It be the outsiders trying to project that energy onto them. Same thing, case in point, I feel with Mia. Mia did not take the comments that were said about her mom to be as serious, but y'all projected how y'all felt about it onto Mia, which made Mia then make this like a thing and then try to create this thing to be like her storyline. So that was y'all that did that. What else? Ashley goes on to speak on the slave comment. Glad we're here, which Candiace never tweeted. And Robyn tried to say, well, you did say it. Remember, we were at the table and then you had told her like her husband drives slaves. Yes, the reason why Candiace said that was because Ashley led with the slave driver comment. So Candiace was like, he driving slaves, okay? But what Candiace was saying is that Michael is an overseer. To be taken as, and he's older than you, and he does oversee you. He oversees those finances. Okay, and he also oversees that home that your mama living in, that other man living in, that ain't helping pay no motherfucking bills. Okay, so Michael is overseeing the finances, period, dear. Okay, so Candiace said that, what else? What Candiace said, and I mentioned it, I've already said that. Candiace called Michael an overseer, which he is, and I already told y'all why I feel that way. Ashley wants Candiace to take accountability for something she didn't say. And I'm glad that she didn't, because Candiace never called you a slave. You referred to yourself as a slave, dear. That's how you're feeling. She just said that he was an overseer. You referred to yourself as a slave. Now, did the outsiders project that image onto you, which is why you came to Candiace with the slave comment to begin with? Which one is it? Oh, okay, then. So, what else happened? Candiace tells Ashley to earn her check another way. And I'm so glad that she been listening to my videos, girl. Earn your check another way. Earn your keep another way, girl, but you will not be getting it off me because I'm not going to be interacting. Karen, you sat over there and talked about how people going to start tuning me out. You don't have to worry about it because I'm going to be one step ahead of y'all. I'm going to start tuning this knucklehead out real quickly. Okay? Hear me, hear ye. Okay? So, hey, Candiace girl, we appreciate it. Let's keep going on. So then Ashley tells her she earned her check before she sat on that stage. And she gonna continue to earn it afterwards. And I said, yes, Ashley, you did. You earned that check because you start creating your own bullshit. Okay? You earned your check because you start creating your own SHI where it's sticking your nose where it did not have to be. That's how you earned your check. Now you're earning your check based on past tense that's happened with you and Candiace and off of the strength of your babies because you ain't been given since last season. So what's going on? What is going on, girl? You not bringing nothing else. What's happening? That's why you was on the very end of the couch. Girl, the most mess you have kept up or the most entertainment and storyline you have given was Michael grabbing these men's asses. Let's talk about that. Michael over here reaching up, filling up, touching up on other folks on set. Oh, okay. Right. So, yeah, just go work on your own storyline, dear. Go work on your own stuff, girl. Let it be outside of them kids. I'm tired of using them kids as an excuse. I'm tired of hearing you talk about how Michael really wants you when he don't. Bravo. Don't give me no more scenes with Ashley and Michael acting like they getting into it. Like they getting sexy and physical with each other. Don't give me that. I don't want to see it no more because we know it's a lie. We know we don't believe y'all. Y'all need more people, okay? Let's go ahead and move on, all right? So Ashley says Candiace is the one that makes her the subject of her discussions. And here's my thing, Ashley. No, that's a lie, okay? Candiace didn't even want you around, as I've said multiple times. She didn't want you around on multiple occasions, okay? So that's lie number one. In addition, you're the one who wrote a whole statement, okay, about her for a situation that yours had absolutely nothing to do with. You weren't even there to actually see anything that happened at all. right? And I know a lot of people feel like, well, she didn't write anything about the actual show. I mean, about the actual incident. She just wrote a character situation. But even at the end of the day, she didn't even witness how everything played out to really know whether or not Candiace was in the right or the wrong. So, yeah. And here's the other thing. The other ladies that were privy and were around to see what happened didn't even write a statement. So why would you go and write a statement too? So Ashley and Candiace are very similar in ways. Ashley, you be acting like you be letting go of grudges, but you don't. And that situation when you went back and wrote that statement was you having a grudge against Candiace. And as I've said before, and I say it again, you going down to Williamsburg, despite you having a child and coming in the house with your breast milk, you over there sitting down talking to Wendy, having that conversation with her because it was joy for you to deliver that to her based on the incident that took place with y'all last year. So there's that. What else? What did I say? I say, in addition, you're the one who wrote a whole statement about her for a situation that you had nothing to do with, nor were you privy to see. So why is it that she's the one that's keeping you to be the topic of the conversation? No, that's not true. I feel like you're the one that does that. You're the one that talks more about Candiace, because why is it that Michael knows more and more of Candiace and Chris's business? And he talks like a gossiping ass man because y'all have a lot of pillow talk. But I don't really get that coming from Chris. I more so get that from your man. So that lets me know that you have Candiace as the topic of the conversation over there in your household and in your mouth, girl, and in your conversations. So there's that. What else? Yeah, that was it. Her and Michael ain't got nothing going on besides what's going on with Chris and Candiace, and then a little bit of Juan too. Girl, that's all they got. So Candiace tells Ashley that she has done things to her, and she begins to kind of tear up in this moment and tells her that the statement that she wrote for Miss Girl ended up hurting her. So she didn't like that she did that, like that hurt her. And she says that she's at a place where she can't forgive her, and I don't fault her for that. Ashley lies, and Ashley lies and says, I didn't even think that. Sorry, I lied to you, Martin. I just wanted to go to Arizona. Like, girl, you said that like you didn't think it was going to be a big deal for her. Like, I didn't think she would care. Why would you think she didn't care if she sat up there and brought charges against this woman? Why would you think she didn't care? But you knew that. And then you sitting up here and you want to have Candiace accept accountability, but you're not even willing to accept accountability on your own. Do you want to sit up here and say, I don't think that she would care? But just last year, when you went and told Giselle them that you wrote the statement, Giselle and Robyn told you how Candiace was going to feel. And what did you say? You said you do not care. So I'd rather you stand in that than to sit up here and tell a lie and then try to downplay it. And then for Giselle and all of y'all hoes to try and sit up here and force this woman to want to accept and forgive Ashley for some shit that was done to her and not to y'all. Y'all is fucked. And I would be like, fuck all y'all, to be honest with you. You're not going to sit up here and make me apologize or forgive somebody over a damn thing. Number one, a thing a person has never apologized to me for. And number two, a thing that ain't never happened to none of y'all. Excuse me? And then Robyn gonna ask her, like, do you think that at some point you can get to a place where you can, forgive her? And Candiace said, I don't know. I said, thank you. And then Ashley had the nerve to look like, oh, like, what you looking like? What you looking like that for? What you looking like surprise? Or, oh my God, here we go again. But you knew what you did, girl. So when she's ready to move forward, and then here's the other thing. You're not giving her nothing to go off of to make her think that you are really a good person. For real, for real. You ain't giving her a whole lot. Like, yeah, y'all can kiki, y'all can hang out. But outside of that, like, you ain't doing nothing extra. So she gonna trust you as far as she can throw you. And that's just that on that. And y'all can stop putting pressure on this woman to accept accountability for things that she's already accepted and apologized for. Y'all can stop that. And y'all can also stop trying to get her to forgive and forget situations that happened to her that didn't happen to y'all. And Robyn, you should be the last person chit-chatting and talking, baby. The way you sitting up there and shit that happened with you and Juan years ago, you still bringing it up. That's why that man walked off on you. So you don't even be trying to let go of stuff your damn self. So you surely should not be one of the people sitting up there asking this woman, will she ever get to a place where she can forgive? You know they're not paying the rent. Girl, like, no, ma'am. Absolutely not. What else did I want to say? Karen had the audacity to tell Candiace and Ashley that they are holding up the group. BITCH. Okay, let you tell it. as you sat there and did, you and Giselle been going at it for 6 years. So who's really been holding up the group? Y'all been going at it for this long. So who's been holding up the group? Y'all been holding up the group, but even with that, the group has still been able to progress forward. So why are you adding additional pressure on this woman to forgive this lady? She don't have to do shit. Just because that's something that y'all want to see. Girl, no ma'am, and see, that's y'all motherfucking problem, because if y'all really held people to the fire, Michael, Darby, nor Ashley would even be on this show. Wouldn't even be on this show if y'all really held people to task like y'all should have. Okay? Y'all just like to forgive and forget and move on, huh? Okay then, girl. Right? Ashley and Candiace have coexisted on this shore for at least 4 years, so that's another thing. They ain't been holding up this group. That's just a statement that Karen is putting out there to put pressure on them to forgive each other and to move on. It don't work like that, right? So then what's the next thing that ended up happening? We learned that Ashley and Candiace have hung out recently. We've prior to the reunion and also post the reunion. Candiace says that she can put things aside and says that she can't forgive that because Ashley showed her who she was, basically, and that she'll never trust her in that capacity. But she can hang out with her. You know what I'm saying? And I understand where Candiace is coming from, because, I mean, like when you work a regular job, you know, it may be people on there that you don't like and you can't stand for real. Okay, on the job, but you do what you need to do in the moment to work, do the job. But if y'all happen to go to a happy hour or something and you go into a function that you want to go to and they happen to be there, you like, it's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm having a good time. After this, I still don't with you. I saw you for what it is. You're not gonna ruin my time because I want to have a good time. It is what it is. So there's that. Andy asked if she's still upset with Karen, because once again, she's upset that Ashley is still friends with Mo. Ashley has no choice but to be friends with Mo after Mo hid this tape from her, you know, from the people, right? To help out her situation. She did a favor for Mo. So, I mean, for Ashley, yeah, whatever. They did favors for each other. So that's why she's going to always be friends with her. When it comes to Karen, she's upset with Karen still being friends with her. And then here go Dusty Mia. Your mama, come get her. Your mama on her way to come get you, girl. So then Dusty Mia sits up there and says, well, why aren't you giving Karen the same energy? Girl. And Karen says, well, because I didn't write a statement. Exactly. Thank you, Karen, for clearing that up. Karen didn't write a statement. Ashley did. Karen was privy to everything and still didn't write a statement and didn't get involved. And I guarantee you, Mo asked Karen to write that letter. And Karen probably said, no, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm not going to get involved. Hello? Whoop, there it is. Let's keep going. Robyn tried to be the mouthpiece for Ashley and wants to see if Candiace can ever move forward. And I told y'all that. Candiace says she don't know. Ashley over there looking like, I already told y'all, okay? What else? Oh, yeah. With Ashley sitting up there and acting like, oh my God, I guess we're not going to be able to move forward then, like it's all on Candiace. I feel like Candiace has a right to not forgive you at this time. Whenever it's her time, and she can forgive you when she's ready, right? My thing is this. What you did was more of a big deal than Candiace saying your mama to Mia. But for some reason, none of the ladies that are sitting on the stage are trying to hold Ashley accountable for her actions on doing that, understanding that this is your quote unquote friend, as y'all like to play it up. And this is somebody you're going to want a relationship with at a later time. In addition to the fact that, oh, girl ain't even on the show anymore, but Candiace is. So for the camaraderie or whatever of the group, Ashley, you need to apologize to Candiace and whatever else. But y'all motherfuckers are sitting up there trying to force this girl to forgive a woman that never even apologized to her. Where is it adding up for me? It's not. Like, that's crazy as fuck. And like I said, that situation to me is more serious than somebody saying, your mama. Okay. What else? That's it. That's really it on Ashley. She's just a sneaky person. I don't trust Ashley. Never did, never will. And there's that, okay? Karen is asked about the shady candle business because Karen was being real shady. Wendy opens up about getting her breast lift and her implants and her BBL or whatever. Giselle and Robyn is asked about policing Wendy's body, okay? Robyn spoke up but Giselle didn't say anything. So when it came down to them talking about, Wendy's body, Robyn opened her mouth, but Giselle just sat back for a minute before she opened her mouth. Cause I feel like she was going to try not to address the situation, but I feel like Robyn said so much that it was only right for Giselle to speak up and say what she was going to say. So, there's that, right? What's next? So Andy asked whether Robyn's question was fair. Wendy says it's not what you asked, it's your delivery. She says she was never given a chance for a one-on-one. Robyn says that they did give her a one-on-one, or they did talk to her in Williamsburg, and Wendy says she disagrees. Robyn says her observation was less about her looks but more about her personality. Wendy says that it didn't seem like it came from a good place. First they tell her that she loose, and then they turn around and say that she lacks substance. So yeah, it didn't come off as it should have come off, like as a homegirl, somebody that genuinely cares. So Wendy felt the way about it. Giselle says that her personality, and she says that it was her personality and how she was acting was basically much different than how she's seen Wendy over the past year or whatever. And she said she felt like she got like a new castmate or something. What else? Wendy says that her talking to Mia was mild in comparison to her and Ashley having their issues last year. Now, kind of how they chopped this part up was a bit confusing, because one minute Giselle was talking about how Wendy was with her, or how she's known Wendy to interact, versus how Wendy ended up going and talking about Mia. So I was kind of confused, but Wendy says that her interactions with Mia was very light and mild in comparison to how she came at Ashley last year. Wendy was asked about writing her reads, and she says, baby, I'm a commentator. I read people all the time, in the White House and stuff. So if I can get them together, baby, I can get anybody together. All right, I get paid for my words, and you're going to get all of them. So I said, okay, Wendy, we hear you, girl. Now, Wendy is asked about Karen's line. Karen said that she told us years ago that she was going to be doing candles next. So that shouldn't have even been a surprise to anybody. Wendy says that she got 5 and 7 wigs, which is interesting as to why Mia came out with the 9 wigs, because Mia has this thing about her where she has to see people lower than her and that she's doing better than them. Like, Mia is one of those friends I could never be friends with, because she thrives off of competition. Like, that's the only way she feels she's going to be successful, is if she's competing with you. And I don't ever want no bitch like that as my friend. So there's that. Wendy and Eddie rumors came up. Karen, Giselle, and Robyn said they heard about the rumors, but none of them believed it to be true, right? So Wendy said the blog was read by hundreds of people. But when it comes to this show, she felt as though this show is, on a massive platform. So that means that a ton of people watch this show. All right. So she's feeling a way about that. So she didn't feel like they should have brought that to the show when it's not true. So why would you bring that to this platform knowing that it's not true? Like, that's not fair. So then Andy says, because you're breathing life into it by bringing it up on the show. Loved it. What did Giselle do? She made the same face she always make when she ain't got no comeback. Whatever that is that she do, that's what she did. So Giselle says that the tone was, I need to check on Wendy because of all of the social media nonsense. But you never checked on her, though. You went around to everybody else. You didn't go to Wendy. You never checked on her. What is you talking about, girl? So then Andy says, her point, we hear what you're saying, but her point specifically was that she was putting something out there about her husband, and that wasn't true. Like, that's what her point is about. That it's not about what your intentions were. It was about the fact that you put this out here, okay, about something regarding her husband that wasn't true. All right. So then Wendy goes in on Giselle talking about misogyny and how she said that Giselle accusing her of getting work done on her body to keep a man. She felt like that was misogyny. Then she goes on to tell Giselle, baby, you should know you had a tummy tuck. Did that keep Jamal? I said, bitch, girl, did it keep Jamal or Sherman? Girl, bitch, what? And what was the gag for me was that everybody looked around in shock as though they did not know that Giselle had a tummy tuck. Very interesting. I'm wondering what the layout is going to be next episode, because I didn't know Giselle had a tummy tuck either. Let Giselle tell it like everything is perfect. She's perfect, homegrown, perfect, right? So I don't know, girl. Very interesting. There's that. But what else did I want to say? I think this was the last thing I wanted to say. Earlier in the episode, Giselle wanted Candiace to take ownership for something she said. Well, why won't you take ownership for bringing this story to the show, as Andy said, by breathing it into life, right? Why? You're putting all this pressure on Candiace. You have a conversation with Candiace when y'all take a break, and you tell Candiace that you need to take ownership for something. Number one, she's already done that. But number two, when have you done that? You sat in Karen's face at the Goddess event, and you still did not apologize for what you said about Ray. Whether it was meant to be that you wished him for dead or not. You didn't even say like, hey, I'm sorry if it came off that way. Like, you didn't even say any of that, girl. And then here it is, you're doing it again, but yet you want apologies. Girl, if you don't get your fake ass. Girl, I ain't got no more. I'm losing my voice over here talking about this SHI and a piece of a T. That's all that I got, honey. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below on this overall reunion, part 2 of Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.